tonight's topic is eggs. What do we really know? Yep, we've come back to eggs for the second time. We've only covered this topic once, and it was because of a video that I'd watched about what's going on in egg farming in that world and whether they're actually nutritious or not. Like, I just want to know more about eggs. So here we are with the second shot of an exploration on that topic. Let's see what we can find out. I've gone basic and I went to duckduckgo.com, and it's another search engine just like Google. And I did the most basic of searches, and I've gone for the first article at the top, which is official UK information. So I want to see what the narrative is in this and if there's any truth in it or not. So yeah, this is, let me bring it up on screen. There it is. And can I maximize that? Is that as big as it goes? Okay, that's as big as it goes. Yeah, nutrition of eggs. So that's what I put in the search bar. First one is an ad, second one's an ad, then there's the AI thing. And this is the article that I'm talking about. This is the first article that comes, and it's egginfo.co.uk. Egg nutrition, official UK information. Now, this looks like the stamp that you see on eggs that you get out of the supermarket at the very least, anyway. And this is the website. So I'll be putting this into the description, the source that I'm using, and any other sources that come up along the way. I've not read through this information. I just want to, like I say, when I start an exploration or go back to an exploration, it's doing it with fresh eyes. So I'm trying not to have any biases or anything like that. So you're kind of getting it in real time, me looking at information, or anyone else that I invite on the panel, and applying our critical thinking skills. So please feel free to do the same and put any comments that you might think that should be mentioned, if I've not mentioned it as well, in the live chat. Hi, Natalie, in the live chat, welcome. Closed panel. So yeah, explore along with me. So here we are. We've got this. You are seeing what I'm seeing. Yes, you are. Egg info brought to you by British Lion Eggs. Should I look at what that is? British Lion Eggs? Let's have a look. Go to the home page. Is there an about bit? All right, here we are on the About Us. This website is brought to you by the British Egg Information Service, BEIS, or BEIS, which is administered by the British Egg Industry Council, BEIC. Alongside recipe inspiration, the service team educates consumers on the benefits of eating eggs, working with a panel of nutritionists to provide answers to all of your egg-related questions. BEIC is recognised by government and parliament as the representative voice of the UK egg industry. So that's important, right? So this has to be spot on if the taxpayer is paying for this to be legit and relatively immaculate, right? So it's recognised by government and parliament as the representative voice, which recognised. So, right, the extensive recipes section on the Egg Info website will give you plenty of ideas to help crack some delicious and nutritious egg dishes. Blah, 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 blah. Eggs are packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals, and there's so much you can do with them. So always keep a pack in the fridge for affordable meals at any time of the day. When buying eggs, always look for the red British Lion mark, which you can see on this thumbnail of this YouTube video on the egg. They are also the only eggs the Food Standards Agency has said are safer for vulnerable adults. Hello, Daft Lad in the chat. For vulnerable groups, including pregnant women, babies, young children, and the elderly to enjoy runny. Interesting. Let's not go there. I'm going to click on that. Have a look. Is there some good with this video? Oh, we might as well. It's 44 seconds. Let's see what.
There are so many opportunities to have eggs throughout the year. So make sure you've got British Lion eggs in your fridge because you never know when you're going to need eggs. I would say I probably have about 4 eggs per day on average and maybe about 20 plus eggs per week. Really kind of depends how much cake I eat. When you see this lovely British Lion Eggs logo on the shell and on the pack, it means that this egg has been produced to the highest standards and it is safe for everyone to eat. I always make sure that I have got British Lion eggs in my fridge to use for Robbie, and of course I eat a fair few eggs too.
There you go then. Nice little advert for eggs, but whoever this Tom Daly is, not very descriptive. Right, so there's a British Egg Industry Council website. But I did click on Food Standards Agency hyperlink in this About Us section, which takes me to this. New government advice. So this is dated the 11th of October 2017. New government advice. British Lion eggs safe for mums-to-be, babies and elderly people. Pregnant women, babies and elderly people can now enjoy dippy eggs again for the first time since the 1980s, as long as they have the British Lion mark on. The Food Standards Agency, FSA, has today, 11th of October 2017, changed its advice on eggs, confirming that British Lion eggs are safe to be eaten runny and even raw by vulnerable groups such as infants, children, pregnant women, and elderly people. These groups can now enjoy the nutritional benefits of eggs without having to fully cook them. The new advice follows a year-long risk assessment by the Advisory Committee on the Microbiological Safety of Food and is the result of extensive food safety measures introduced within the British Lion Code of Practice since its launch in 1998. Andrew Yoret, I think that's how it's pronounced, chairman of the British Egg Industry Council, which runs the British Lion scheme, welcomed the new advice. This is a real success story for the UK egg industry. Our producers have maintained the highest standards for 2 decades to ensure the superior safety of British Lion eggs, and we are delighted that FSA has now confirmed that these eggs are safe enough for even vulnerable groups to eat runny or even raw. We know that the previous advice has deterred many women from eating eggs when pregnant and from giving them to their babies, as well as denying other people the pleasure and nutritional benefits of a dippy egg and homemade mousses and mayonnaise. The advice is particularly good news for these groups and will also enable care homes to put many traditional egg dishes back on their menus. Heather Hancock, chairman of the Food Standards Agency, said it's good news that now even vulnerable groups can safely eat UK eggs without needing to hard-boil them, so long as they bear the British Lion mark. The FSA has thoroughly reviewed the scientific evidence about the safety of these eggs, and we're confident that we can now change our advice to consumers. The major reduction in the risk of salmonella in lion eggs is testament to the work carried out by egg producers. The measures they've taken, from vaccination of hens through to improving hygiene on farms and better transportation, have dramatically reduced salmonella levels in UK hens. Dr. Juliet Gray, registered nutritionist, said the new advice is very welcome news. Eggs are highly nutritious, containing many key nutrients including high-quality protein, vitamin D, selenium, iodine, choline, and omega-3 fatty acids. These nutrients are particularly important for many vulnerable groups, including pregnant women, babies, and elderly people, and several of them are not found in many other foods. Notes to editors. Since the Salmonella scare in 1988, the government had advised that vulnerable groups, including pregnant women, young children, and elderly people, should avoid eating eggs that have not been fully cooked. The British Egg Industry Council's Lying Code of Practice was introduced in 1998 and has been acknowledged by government as being responsible for the subsequent dramatic fall in human cases of salmonella. More than 90% of British eggs are now produced within the British Lion Scheme, which requires producers to follow a stringent code of practice, including vaccinating their hens against salmonella, increased hygiene controls, and salmonella testing, stamping a best before date on the eggshell as well as on the box, and independent auditing. In November 2013, former Health Minister Edwina Currie, whose comments fueled the salmonella scare, described British lion eggs as the safest in the world. For more information, please contact the British Egg Information Service on 020 7052 8899, Lucy Egerton on 07730 682 111, or Kevin Coles on 07776 026 012. There you go. I'm not so sure about this, like vaccinating hens. The salmonella, as far as I know, was never in the egg. It was just on the shell, and they wash the shells now. I don't know why they weren't washing the shells back then, but they wash the shells now. And if you touch an eggshell, just in case it hasn't been washed, you wash your hands after you've touched it before you touch anything else, and you're safe. That's how much of a risk salmonella was. You just have to wash your hands. And don't lick the eggshell. I mean, right? There we go. So there's that part. Now we're going to go back to About Us. I had clicked on British Egg Industry Council. Let's have a quick, because where was it on this page? It was further down. See, also British Egg Industry Council website. So that is here. And there's the lovely little egg red lion at the top, British lion, whatever it is. The British Egg Industry Council is an interprofessional organisation of 11 trade associations representing the egg industry in the UK. Okay, and there's a lot actually to go and have a look at on there. Maybe we'll have a look at that on another day, because I want to stick with what... Oh, there we go. British Egg Industry Council. Is that within the square mile, is it? I need to have a look at this. What a place to have an organisation where all the banksters are, if it's in the city of London. Let's have a look. So here it is, 22 City Road is that address. That's not what I've pasted in there. 20 Road. I did put. Maybe I have to put the company in British Egg Industry Council. See if that makes a difference. So it's just along from Finsbury Square, is it? Check Industry Council, Agricultural Association. Oh, did I see something? Instead of which lack of looks like it's within my dastardly square mile. Just found out about the misspell on Whitechapel recently. Yeah. So knowing where it is there, what it looks like. Oh, is it just outside City of London? Yes, it is just outside. What a place to have it. On the outskirts of such a place. I don't think I'm happy about this. People like that deciding what is good and is not good with regards to eggs. I mean, that, yeah, doesn't exactly tell me that they are a good egg. Right, so we'll go to that other website another time. I want to go through this website that we've already started on. So, egg nutrition information. That's how um, British Lion eggs have come about. We've just read their about bit. So, yeah, what I had first gone to was this page, egg nutrition information, because I want to know what the actual composition of an egg and what nutrition we as members of mankind can ever get out of it, whether our bodies will actually be able to use it fully, but whether we'll be able to use that fully or not is like further down the conversation. Let's start with the nutrition, the composition, if you like, of eggs. So, egg nutrition information. Eggs are a natural source of many nutrients, including high quality protein, vitamins, and minerals. Eggs are naturally rich in vitamin B2, which is also called riboflavin. I think that's how you pronounce that. Someone will let me know on a panel at another date, no doubt. Vitamin B12, vitamin D, selenium, and iodine. They also contain vitamin A and a number of other B vitamins, including folate, biotin, pantothenic acid, and choline, and other essential minerals and trace elements, including phosphorus. For egg nutrition facts and for more information on the specific nutrients found in eggs, please visit the sections below. So, guess what? That's what we're going to do. Nutritional value of eggs. How many grams of protein in an egg? Are there carbs in eggs? This table has the answers to your questions. Right. So this is like the label on a food item in a supermarket, isn't it? Egg nutrition information. Per small egg, 48 grams, right? Per medium size egg, 58 grams. Per large egg, 68 grams. Very large egg, 78 grams. And then per 100 grams, that's what we've got going on here. So I'll try to have small eggs because, especially if I'm fasting, I've been told that if you get a little bit hungry in your fast and you've got a bit of a craving going on, if you can have something of very low calories, something of, I think, is it less than 6 grams of protein, or less than 8 grams, then you won't break your fast if it's got no sugars in and stuff like that as well. And so I am told that one egg every now and again won't break your fast. And so I've been sticking to small eggs just to be sure. I've been guessing, but I've not actually looked at this before. That I won't be breaking a fast. So it looks as though actually I might even get away with a large egg if a large egg has 7.5 grams of protein in. But it has 5.4 grams of fat, although fat doesn't break a fast. Maybe I should look at that. But I'm going to stick actually with small eggs for now. So, right, per small egg, which is about 48 grams, you've got 54 calories. I don't count calories. I don't think it's wise to count calories unless you are eating highly toxic foods like refined carbs and stuff like that. But that's your decision to make. It's up to you. Which is 54 calories, which is 227 kilojoules. This is just a measurement of energy. It's not actually something that stores on you. Fat is 3.7 grams, so that's okay, of which 1 gram is saturated. So that's a healthy fat, that's good for your brain. 1.4 grams is monounsaturated. Now that's good because the monounsaturated fat is what distributes the nutrients around the body. And polyunsaturates 0.6 grams. So that's cool because that's not an unhealthy fat, but you don't really need much of it. Carbohydrate, trace. Sugars, trace. So actually, that's the same for all of them. Carbohydrates and sugars, just a trace. Oh, how can I highlight all of that? Regardless of the size, and even in 100 grams, just a trace of carbohydrate and sugars, which is a good sign, right? That means that this is very healthy. an egg is extremely healthy actually, because carbohydrates and sugars are detrimental to us. Protein 5.2 grams, salt 0.16, which is low, because you do actually lose a lot of salt and use a lot of salt, so you constantly need to replace it. But that's okay. I mean, that's just an egg. You can eat other things to get your salt intake. All right, so that's that. So it goes from 54 up to 90 calories. Protein, I'm just looking at the highlights here. You can all look at this yourself. Press pause, do whatever you want to do there. Protein goes from 5.2 grams to 8.7, between a small egg and a very large egg. Salt goes up to 0.27 grams. Fat goes up to 6.2 grams, which is nothing, and it's a healthy fat. I mean, thinking about it, like an egg is the beginning of new life. So it's going to, for that new chick to form, it's going to have the best of ingredients possible that is inside that hen to form new life. So I look at that as, yeah, that's got to be healthy. Calories in an egg. Find information on calories in eggs as well as more about eggs and dieting. Let's have a look at this page then. We're going to go to all these different sections. We're going to cover this as best as we can. Calories in an egg. There are on average between 55 and 80 calories in an egg depending on its size. For details of all sizes, see below. Well, we've already looked at them, but let's go through what's on this page. How many calories are there in an egg? The calories in an egg will vary depending on the size and how it is prepared. However, on average, a single medium-sized egg will contain around 66 calories. An average small egg will contain around 55 calories. And an average large egg around 80 calories. Most of these calories come from the yolk, which is the particularly nutrient-dense part of the egg and includes many essential vitamins and minerals. Below is a list of full calorie values in various sizes of an egg. So there we see what we saw on the page before. Right. Calories in cooked eggs. 2 scrambled eggs cooked in the microwave. Why would you scramble your eggs in the microwave? Anyway, with a little salt and pepper and a dash of semi-skimmed milk will provide around 170 calories. I mean, that just sounds absurd. Why would you have semi-skimmed milk, right? When they start taking the fat out of things, they start replacing it with sugar, and that's exactly what they do in milk. So why would you have semi-skimmed milk? And why would you be cooking scrambled eggs in the microwave? There you go, I suppose some people do. If you are cooking your scrambled eggs using the pan method, 2 large eggs with a dash of semi-skimmed milk, I would go whole fat pan. Like, seriously. Scrambled with a small knob of butter. Small knob of butter? I would have plenty of butter. Will total between 200 and 245 calories, depending on the amount of butter added. Poached eggs, just having a look at the chart as I've got that. Poached eggs are very popular as they don't need you to add any extra cooking oil or butter to cook. This means poached egg calories equal the same as in the table above, between 54 and 80 calories, depending on the size. The calorie value of a fried egg will differ depending on the type of fat used in the pan and whether you drain it. It is often recommended to use oils which are rich in monounsaturates, such as rapeseed or olive oil. What? I would never advise anyone to use rapeseed oil for anything. And olive oil, yeah, shop around. But you're better off with ghee, butter ghee. Yeah, there's something dodgy about this website. A fried egg can range from 85 calories if using only a little spray oil these spray oils, you might as well just be using washing up liquid in your pan, man. It's just disgusting, the toxins in them. To around 120 calories if frying in oil and not draining it. Just use butter or ghee or tallow or beef dripping, something like that. Like, just don't use vegetable oils. They're not good for you. Calories in popular egg dishes. 1 boiled egg, 2 slices of toast. Why would you have 2 slices of toast? That's carbohydrates. It's really not good for you. Oi, oi, Pablo. Good to see you. Right, 1 boiled egg, 2 sliced toast, and 10 grams margarine. I cannot believe they're like putting margarine on here. It's got to be one of the most toxic forms of fat. Dear, oh dear. I don't even want to read this, but let's go. 1 boiled egg, 2 slices toast, and 10 grams of margarine, 320 calories, 15 grams of protein, 31 grams of carbohydrate, 17 grams of fat. I mean, that's not a healthy fat either. It really is not. 2 egg plain omelette, 200 grams of potatoes. Potatoes, high carbohydrate. I'm not going to read that out loud, Pablo. No, you want to use, no, you need to go back to animal fat for your chips if you must have them. Yeah, why potatoes? 2 scrambled eggs, 1 toasted bagel. Why bagel? Why? Just have more eggs. Yeah, that's me. With the carnivore push. Eggs and dieting. Eggs are a great food to include in your diet if you're trying to lose weight, whilst ensuring your body gets all the essential nutrition it needs. Because eggs are nutritionally dense and contain fewer than 70 calories, medium sized, they can be part of any calorie controlled meals and snacks while still providing lots of protein and vital vitamins, minerals, and fats. Now, why you would want a calorie control, I do not know, considering calorie restriction alone is never a successfully sustainable way of achieving and maintaining weight loss. If you're trying to remove excess fat, trying to shrink your fat cells from your body. The way you prepare your eggs will, of course, affect their nutritional value. For instance, if you fry an egg in fat instead of boiling it, this will increase the number of overall calories. It is also important to eat your eggs along with other nutrient-rich foods such as vegetables, salads, and whole grains. Well, vegetables, salads, and whole grains might be nutrient-rich, but they're also toxin-rich. So I would say have eggs with a steak or something. You see, we differ, don't we? egginfo.co.uk. More information about eggs and nutrition. If you are interested in eggs and dieting, visit our section on eggs and weight loss. Should I have a look at that? I don't know, because it could just send me on the right one. I think what I'm going to do, actually, it's 9:10. I'm going to stop and make a cup of so I'm going to play a tune and we'll go back to the page before, because otherwise I'll go down a rabbit hole with the eggs and weight loss. I just want to find out the nutrition in eggs, their composition. Yeah, let's not go on a tangent just yet.
Smooth moderator,